I am highly honored and privileged to welcome you all to the inaugural lecture of the Nobel Laureate Lecture Series organized by the Department of Economics, Jamia Islamia. It is indeed a historic and memorable day for the department. It was a long cherished dream of the department to have a Nobel Laureate Lecture Series in the department. We have been able to fulfill that dream with the kind consent and august presence of Honorable Professor Yunus with us. Thank you very much, sir, for this gesture.
Thank you.
I was highly motivated by a famous thought by Professor Yunus that if you imagine someday, it will happen. If you do not imagine, it will never happen. So this lecture is definitely a product of such imagination by me and colleagues in the department. We have received overwhelming response from different parts of India and abroad for this lecture. More than 800 students, scholars, and faculty members have registered for this important lecture from Bangladesh, Spain, USA, Australia, UK, Saudi Arabia, etc. Now let me come to my duty of welcoming the august guest. First of all, I extend a warm welcome to Honorable Vice Chancellor for being with us this afternoon and readily agreeing to chair the session. Professor Najma Akhtar is the first woman Vice Chancellor of this 102-year-old great university, and Jamia has witnessed unprecedented growth under her able leadership for the last 4 years. This is reflected in the improved ranking of the university at national and international levels. Thank you very much, ma'am, for gracing the occasion. It is my proud privilege to welcome Honorable Professor Muhammad Yunus Sahab, Nobel Laureate and founder of Bangladesh Grameen Bank. He has been kind enough to accept our invitation despite his busy schedule. Professor Yunus is an international figure and does not require much introduction. He popularized and operationalized microfinance, microcredit, pro-poor growth in the world. His novel technique of banking to the poor without collateral has become an alternative development paradigm in the world for poverty alleviation and involvement of poor in the development process. He is of the opinion that present banks are catering to the rich people and hence to address and lend to the poor people. He started Bangladesh Grameen Bank, and such models are working in different parts of the world successfully. With these words, I welcome you, sir, and your presence is a great source of inspiration for us. I also welcome all my colleagues and participants from different parts of India and abroad. Now, may I request Honorable Vice Chancellor to deliver the presidential remarks.
Professor Muhammad Yunus, I welcome you to Jamia Millia Islamia.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure for us to see you and to hear from you. And it's the young faculty as well as the students are very eagerly waiting for you. And therefore, we are honored to have you with us. Professor Ashraf Ilian, Head of the Department of Economics. It's your initiative that has really made it possible for us to see such luminaries, see such great people, and I appreciate your efforts. Other members of the Department of Economics and all the guests, ladies and gentlemen, those who are joining this program from India and from abroad. A very good afternoon. At least in India, it's afternoon. It is indeed a moment of great pleasure for me to be the part of the inaugural lecture of the Nobel Laureate Lecture Series being organized by the Department of Economics, Jamia Millia Islamia. First of all, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guest, a very eminent guest, Professor Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel Laureate on behalf of the Department of Economics and on behalf of Jamia fraternity. Professor Yunus is a well-known international figure for popularizing the idea of microfinance and pro-poor growth. He is a social entrepreneur, banker, economist, and civil society leader. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for founding Grameen Bank and pioneering the concept of microcredit and microfinance. He received the United States Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2009 and the Congressional Gold Medal in 2010. In 2011, Professor Yunus, together with some of his friends, have co-founded a Yunus Social Business, YSB, a global initiative. Former Chancellor of Glasgow, Caledonian University in Scotland, and a professor of economics in Chittagong University in Bangladesh, he has published several books related to his finance work. He has so many other things to his credit. I'm extremely thankful to Professor Yunus for accepting our invitation and readily agreeing to deliver a lecture on creating a world of 3 zeros. Time to act now. Your august presence, sir, will be a source of inspiration for all of us. For the sake of our guest, it seems apt for me to say that Jamia is an exceptional institution with its unique and interesting history. Its foundation lies mainly on the productive action, inculcation of creativity, and spirit of initiative and inquisitiveness in students. Jamia has been constantly coming off with flying colors in achieving the most cherished educational aims and ideals of the nation. With an A++ NAC accreditation, a grade, Jamia figures among top 3 universities of India as in institutional ranking of 2022. Department of Economics is one of the oldest and the most dynamic department in the Faculty of Social Science, one of the most dynamic department. We have many others also, but we look up to the Department of Education, Department of Economics with a lot of hope that it will bring new things to our students. This department was ranked best in India for economics and finance by Times Higher Education Ranking, London in 2021. I congratulate the Department of Economics on organizing a Nobel Laureate lecture series, which is an important milestone and achievement and will accelerate the advancement of the department and add value to the teaching of the department, as well as an eye-opener for the students and the teachers to actually see those who are able to who are the Nobel Laureate. I extend my best wishes to the department and to the participants. And at the end, again, I say my heartfelt thanks to Professor Yunus for accepting our invitation and agreeing to be with us in this lecture. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
I also hope that one day Professor Yunus will be face to face with us in Jamia. That's our hope and our wish also. In India, in Jamia. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Now, may I ask Honorable Professor Yunus to deliver the lecture?
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me for this lecture. And thank you, Professor Nazma Akhtar, for inviting me to be physically in the campus. I would love that. I would love that. And I'm looking forward to that. I was in the campus way back, many, many years back. So, but I would love to come back and meet you and meet your colleagues. My greetings to all of you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nazma Akhtar, and all the faculty members who are participating in this discussion, and all the students who are on the discussion today. I thought I will start by saying that I'm a part of the academic world, because that's where my journey began. I continued with my journey as a young professor in the University of Chittagong back in 1972. Before that, I was teaching in the United States in Middle Tennessee State University. As a young teacher, I was full of enthusiasm to see how I can bring the knowledge of economics to the young people to change the circumstances where they were in. And Bangladesh in 1972 was very much a different kind of country than it is right now. It was defined as a poorest country in the world. That's the description always preceded by saying it's the poorest country in the world. 86% of the population of the country were under poverty line. So you can imagine what this is all about. People suffering from extreme poverty, massive amount of diseases all over the country, and it continued with this for the whole country. So there I was teaching economics, grand theories of economics, with full of enthusiasm to see how ideas generated within the economics world can be applied in changing the life of the people who are extremely poor. An interesting thing I should mention, that the campus that I was in, the Chittagong University campus, was located not in the urban environment, but in a rural environment, away from urban city, surrounded by villages lived by poor, extremely poor people. So here we are, beautiful campus, newly built campus. It's a new, fresh new university. That's where my journey began. And as I was beginning in 72, gradually the situation of Bangladesh is getting worse and worse, even before it was poverty-stricken country. And in 1974, we were struck by a famine, and people were dying of hunger all around us. And here I am, young teacher, full of enthusiasm, trying to help people to overcome poverty. As my luck will have it, I am beginning the whole journey with not only poverty, but now a famine of death. This is a very unnerving kind of experience for anybody. And me with enthusiasm for doing things for the people, it looks like it's a completely different scenario than I thought. Seeing this repeatedly, people dying on the street, the dead bodies found everywhere. So I thought, whatever I have learned, what is known as economics, is there a disturbance in I hear some noises. Do you have the same noise?
Yes, there is a disturbance.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Let me see. Is it better now?
It's still there. It's a crackling noise that's coming.
It's a crackling noise. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know where it's coming from.
I think when you are talking about
yeah.
when you are talking about poor, such noises do come to stop you from saying it.
I hope not.
See, please unmute your mic.
Please continue. Now it's okay.
Hello, Professor Yunus. Please continue, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
You can hear
Yes.
me. Okay, good. So I was saying that I was losing all my confidence in me at that time. That instead of my enthusiasm to help people, I see I can't do a thing for people because it's extreme circumstances. I don't know anything what I should do. So then I started blaming myself. I was blaming that I wasted my time learning something which has not equipped me to deal with the situation that I'm in right now. It has nothing to do with poverty. It doesn't say anything what I can do in the circumstances of extreme poverty in a famine situation. So I thought it's a wastage of my time that I spent all this time learning economics is a totally useless subject. So I was fuming inside of me what I should do in this situation like that. Since I have wasted my time, I don't know where to start now. So I was thinking what I should do under the circumstances. Economics is out. It doesn't help poor people. So I was thinking one idea that came over a period of time. Okay, I have wasted my time. I have to be useful to people. That's the only goal I have, how to make myself useful to people. So one way I thought, why don't I go to the village next door, which is just outside the campus line, campus border, and I could be with the people. And as a person who doesn't know anything about poverty, doesn't know anything about how to be helpful to people, why don't I go every day, talk to the people in the village, the poor people in the village, and see if I can be of some use to at least one person. I thought that I can do to find a way to make myself useful to at least one person. So that was my ambition, how to make myself useful to one person every day. So I go every day to search for that little thing that I can do, whatever little thing I can do to make myself useful to somebody else. And as I do it repeatedly every day, I started knowing those people. They started knowing me. In the beginning, they were suspicious of me. What is he up to? What does he want? Now I became friendly. They know me. I know them. And every day I do a little bit of things, what I can do. So suddenly I see that the reality is so different. What I learned from the economics books about people, the poor people, how useless they are, how they don't have any skill, they have no ambition, they don't have any will to improve their life and so on. I see people are very creative, very friendly, even under extreme poverty, they are very easy to get along with each other. So I finally found that I can make myself useful in some little way, and I continue to do that. So I did a lot of little things. So I'll skip that part. For about a couple of years, I did a lot of these things. But then I saw something terrible in the village, and I kept seeing it repeatedly right from the beginning, but I didn't get it, the full meaning of it. But then when I felt the extent of it, I was horrified. It's the loan sharking. Even in extreme poverty situation, people take advantage of each other. Somebody who has little money, he will lend money to somebody else and grab everything the other person has. And very openly, without hiding anything, as if that's the right to do. And everybody is doing it. Everybody says, oh, that's the way to do it. And I felt terrible that one person in the same village taking advantage of another person who is extremely poor, even in poverty, whatever little thing, position he or she has, to give it up. So I was fuming that I can't do anything about that. I wanted to see if I can be useful to those victims of loan sharking. So I was thinking how to do that. One idea that came to my mind, people go to the loan shark because they need money. And they're desperate to get the money for survival purposes. Very small amount of money, $1, $2, $5, $10. That's about the size of the money they're talking about. So I said, why don't I lend the money myself? And I don't have to torture anybody. I just lend the money and tell them whenever they're ready, when they're capable, they can return the money to me, whatever I gave, and nothing extra for that. So I told them, explained to them. In the beginning, people were suspicious. People said, oh, he is the same one. He will do the same thing, kill us for this money. But I assured them, try me out. I'll show you that I'm not going to take advantage of your situation. So some tried me out. And they found out that, no, I'm true to my word. I never brought any kind of pressure on them to get the money back. So I became very popular, a source of money for people in the village, and they are happy with me. I'm happy with them because they're paying me back. It started growing. As it grew, I became more enthusiastic, more happy that finally I found something which I can be useful to people. I'm trying to protect those people from the loan shark. This way I can do that. And then ideas spilled over to the next village. And I was very happy. And I could do that because money needed is so small. I have so much money in my pocket because I'm coming from the States with some money that I earned as a teacher. Then I picked up a whole quarrel with the banking system. I kept telling the bankers, look, you should be doing this. I'm not a banker. This is your job. This is not my job. They said, no, this is not banking what you're doing. This is some do-gooder thing. You're just trying to be helpful to people. I said, no, this is banking. I follow the banking rules. Say, no, you're not following any banking rules. I said, at least this is the new rule I'm doing, and it works. Anyway, they didn't pay any attention to me. So I raised serious questions. I said, you know what? The banking you do is the wrong banking. Banking is supposed to lend money to people. You do it in such a funny way. You lend money to people who already have lots of money. And you don't lend money to people who don't have money. I said, true banking should be the other way around. Banks should lend money to people who don't have money. That would be their first priority. And then go to the people who have little money or a little more money and so on. And finally go to the last layer of population is the rich people because they already have lots of money. But you reverse the complete thing. So what I'm doing, I'm just doing it the right way. You did the wrong way. They laughed at me. Said, that's not banking. And I said, why don't you lend money to the poor people? The bank said, well, you know, they are not creditworthy. I said, what does it mean they are not creditworthy? It means that they are not able to pay us back. So why should we lend them the money? I said, that's a very funny accusation that you make of the poor people. You're saying they are not creditworthy. You're blaming them. I said, shouldn't it be the other way around? People should be blaming you for not being people worthy. So why don't you make yourself people worthy and do the things in the right way? Whatever you do is the wrong way, then you blame the people for your being wrong. Anyway, that didn't go very well with them. So I continued to do that, and I thought, instead of going in a personal way, why don't I create a little bank for the village so that I can continue in a more formal way? Because I have a controversy with the bankers, now I can create a small bank and say, look, I'm doing the banking way. So after a long effort, finally I got the permission to set up a bank, called it Grameen Bank or Village Bank. That I had the idea that this bank will serve this several villages around this village that I started to work. But I had never thought this bank will grow from these few villages to the nationwide banking. But gradually, that's the direction we went. And as it grew, people asked me, how do you design this bank? What are the aspects that you put into the bank that it works? And then you blame the other banks for their failure. I said, it's very simple. They do the wrong way. They go to the rich. I go to the poor. I go to the right way. So first they have to decide which way they want to go. The starting point is they go the wrong way. So whatever I did is the reversal of the conventional banking. Starting point was going to the poorest. So my bank is defined our borrowers as the poorest person, not poor person, poorest person. The poorer you are, more attractive you are for our bank. The reverse of the conventional bank. Conventional bank for you, if richer you are, more attractive you are. So we reversed it. Conventional banks want to work in the city center. We reversed it. We started going to the remote village. Our work is in the remote villages. So we started functioning in the remote villages in Bangladesh. We never work in the cities. Still, we don't work in the cities. So that's another reversal. Conventional banks want the people to come to their premises, their offices, to do the business. We reversed it. We said banks should not go to people. People should not go to the bank. Bank should go to the people. They reversed it. Today, banks want people to come and do the business with them. I said, no, it should be the other way around. Banks should go to the people and serve them at their doorstep. And that's what the Grameen Bank does. Banks work with men, mostly. We reversed it. We said, we focus on women. So Grameen Bank became known for not only the bank for the poor, it's a bank for the poor women. Still, it is. 97% of the borrowers of Grameen Bank are women. We have more than 10 million borrowers in Grameen Bank. 97% were women. So it's all women everywhere. And when you are reaching the poor, the women are the hard hit when you have the poorest family. Because between men and women, she is the most unfortunate life that she has to live in a family. So we approach them directly, not to the husband, not to other members of the family, directly, because that's what we wanted to do. So this is what we defined the rules of the banking. The fundamental rule of banking that we defined is the rule of collateral. Banks, no bank will work without collateral. We said, forget about collateral. We focus on people, not on the collateral. So we dismiss the whole idea of collateral. It's a collateral-free banking. People get shocked. How can you do banking without collateral? The collateral is the thing, is the glue, is the cement, which puts the banking system together. And you dismiss the whole thing. You can work for a few months, couple of years, you'll be destroyed, you'll be finished. I said, well, if we're finished, we'll be finished. But until we're finished, we'll continue. We were never finished. We continued. Still works better than the conventional bank. The repayment rate in Grameen Bank is near 100%. Although you're working with the poorest people and poorest women. The entire history of Grameen Bank, nearly 50 years now, is the same thing. It's repeatedly with doing banking with the poorest people with near 100% repayment and with no problem with any time over the whole long experience that we had. So we challenge that. Since we do not have collateral, we don't have any lawyers in our banking system. It's a lawyer-free banking. We don't have legal documents signed to be on this side. You don't understand what the lawyers wrote down. Still, you have to put your thumb impression because you can't read and write. All these women are totally literate. Literacy rate in those years in Bangladesh was 24%, 25%. And for women, it will be probably 5% or 6% or something like that. So literacy is immaterial for the poor people. So you're dishing out all these papers to be put on a thumb impression and so on. I said, this is a crazy thing. Just forget it. So we are a lawyer-free bank. We are a document-free bank. We continued and done that. So that we continuously raising this question. Why the banking system designed in this wrong fashion? Why doesn't it start the right way that we did? They said, well, maybe it can be done in Bangladesh. It won't happen anywhere else. Now the Grameen idea, microcredit idea is world over. I just got the news in the newspaper, the program that we run in the United States called Grameen America. Grameen America has 35 branches in 25 cities in the United States, big cities like New York, Chicago, Houston, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and so on. 25 major cities of the United States. We have over 200,000 borrowers. All women, 100% women, extremely low-income women, mostly immigrants who do not have any documents. Forget about collateral, they don't even identity, but we lend money. So the news was in the newspaper in the USA that they have reached $3 billion in loan to these 200,000 borrowers. And their repayment is over 99.5%. See, no collateral, nothing, exactly the way we do it to Grameen Bank. So I'm challenging the entire banking system. Banking should be done in a completely different way if you want to address the problem of poverty. People ask me, what is the reason people become poor? Now I repeatedly explain why people remain poor and continue to become poor. I said, poverty is not created by the poor people. Poverty is created by the system that we built. The whole problem is with the system. Economics that we teach in the economics department is at fault. We are the creator of poverty because we design things in a wrong way. We define things in a wrong way. And as a result, people have to suffer. So we look back at ourselves. If we have done all the wrong things in economics, if we can redesign it, not only economics is the guilty party, but all other parties are guilty party too. We have to redesign them. That's where our task is. That's what our university faculty and researchers and everybody has to work together to how to redesign the whole thing. It's an easy thing, like we did upside down of the banking system. Defy all the rules, defy the rules. One of the defiance of the rules, very simple, which I keep telling about. I said the economic system, not only our education system, tells the young people to become a successful job seeker. We feel, our universities feel proud to tell we are creating job-ready young people. As soon as they come out of the university with the degree, with the diploma, they get a job. So we are a creator of job-ready young people. And I keep repeating, that's a shame. That should not be the objective of a university, to create job-ready young people. I said, human beings are not born for jobs. Job is a completely wrong idea. Real idea, right idea is human beings are born to be entrepreneurs. Then I give the examples of the Grameen Bank and every other microcredit program. Look at these women. They took $20 loan, $50 loan, $100 loan, and turned themselves into entrepreneurs. Illiterate women in remote village. For a $10 loan to $50 loan, they become entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurship is built into human beings. They didn't go to any business school. They were not trained by anybody. We just gave them the money. They knew what to do. And that's how their life began. And they took one loan, repaid it, take another loan, repaid it, take another loan, repaid it, and grew. And that's the story of Grameen Bank. That showed every human beings are basically entrepreneurs. Now what we are doing, teaching them how to get a job. I see human beings are built with unlimited creative capacity. That's what the human beings are all about. Taking a job means you surrender your creativity. You don't need creativity in a job. You take orders when you take a job. You surrender all your creativity. I think that's you give up your essential human element by taking a job. It's a form of slavery. Why should we go into a slavery? So that's my first point. We tell the young people that we are not job seekers, we are job creators, we are entrepreneurs. So our system should be built for the young people to become entrepreneurs. Our financial system has to turn itself into readily make finance available to anybody who wants it, no matter where you are from. Because you want to become an entrepreneur, I will provide you the finance. Finance is the oxygen of entrepreneurship. If you don't provide it, you are a day laborer. You only think you have is your body, because nothing else. So you sell your body. Since selling body doesn't bring you much wages, so you give a little bit of increase, you get education. The higher the education level, you get a better wage, better salary. So you go the line. But still you're the same thing. You're surrendering yourself because you have no other means. Because finance is the oxygen of entrepreneurship. Nobody gives you the finance. Banks are close to you because you are the startup. You are just starting your life. They are chasing all the rich people. They are chasing big Adanis and everybody else. Give more, take more money, and you get more rich. They're not chasing you. So we have to redesign the banking system. Banking system should be, first responsibility is to help every young person, wherever is literate, illiterate, whatever the handicap, doesn't matter. When, woman, doesn't matter. The moment you have the touch of the finance, you are changed completely. You are as good as anybody else. Any entrepreneur is as good as anybody else because you can compete, because the money is not your problem. Finance is waiting for you. So we created our program called Nobel Entrepreneurs, New Entrepreneurs in Bangladesh. We tell young people, come to us with business ideas. Since banks don't give it to you, we will invest in your business. So they come up with the business ideas, unemployed young people. We invest in their businesses from our social business entrepreneur venture capital fund. The deal with the young people is, this is our investment and you have an investment. Maybe our investment is 80%, 20% is your investment, or 10% is your investment. But your job is to earn money by doing the business and return the money that I gave you. Once you return the money that I gave you, you become the full owner of your business. You are the entrepreneur. You take it from there. We are social business. We are not interested in your money that you have. So this is the direction that we want to get. We create an idea is a social business. What is social business? Business to solve problems. Again, it's economics. Economics taught us business means profit maximization. I said that's absolutely wrong, because that's based on self-interest. Because economics defined human being as someone who's driven by self-interest. A machine that we are, We only smell self-interest, nothing else. I said, that's a shame. That's not what the real human beings are. Because you introduced that idea in economics and everybody accepted it, in turn, we became that kind of money-making robots. Because we cannot think of anything else, because economists has put our mind kind of in a cage to think in only direction, making money. I said, so we have abandoned our human qualities. As a true human being is not only driven by self-interest, he or she is also driven by collective interest. Economics doesn't have anything called collective interest. If you are wanting to do something about collective interest, they say you go to the government. Government should do the collective interest. Human beings, just individuals, their families, they will be chasing only money. So we became money chasers. And economics is responsible for that, to making us greedy, making us think only in one channel. Making money is the only one channel. So economics is wrong in interpreting human being. Economics is wrong in denying its entrepreneurship. Economics is wrong by designing a financial system in every other way. So as a result, we created a new civilization based on money. Today, the civilization that we have is profit maximizing civilization. And that civilization is going to kill us. We are in the suicidal path, and we already created by doing this global warming. Global warming is our creation of the economic thinking that we put behind. We are always chasing money, forgot how much damage we are making to the planet, and we destroy everything because we are so greedy. We want to destroy forests, we want to destroy ocean, we want to destroy human lives and their health and everything. So that's what we have. Global warming is going to destroy us. We are now counting days when the human being will someday be extinct because of the direction we're going. So it's a suicidal path. And also this economics that we taught created another mega problem, wealth concentration. All the wealth of the world is concentrated every day in fewer and fewer hands. Not only globally, nationally. You look at each nation, Bangladesh, India, USA, UK, or whatever. All the wealth in each country is mobilized to go into the top. So today, a handful of persons own 95% of the wealth of the entire world. 95% of the wealth of the entire world is owned by a handful of people. Why? Because that's what the economic machine does. It collects all the wealth from the bottom and pushes to the top. Who pushes this money to the top? Banking system does that. Banking system is very good to mobilize resources from the top and resources from the bottom and push in the hands of the few people who have the connections with the bank or own the banks and so on. This is how it does. They don't care about the people at the bottom. So we need to redesign that banking system. And instead of pushing wealth to the top, banking system will be bringing wealth to the bottom so that wealth and the people live together. That's the direction. So today we've created a wrong civilization. What I'm appealing, this civilization is going to kill us very soon. So before they destroy us, kill us, why don't they create a new civilization? This is the task. That's the task every economics department particularly have, because they are the culprit who created this civilization. So we have to create a new civilization which will be based on human values, not on human robots. We will based on human, it will be based on sharing and caring for each other. And I define it by saying it will be a world of 3 zeros. 0 net carbon emission, 0 wealth concentration, and 0 unemployment. And another massive problem which is coming up is a massive unemployment. Why? Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence will not let anybody sit there and do the thing they're doing, because machines will do better than human beings. Professors will not be good, human professors will not be efficient, good professors, because artificial intelligence will have much better teaching ability and communication ability and resource ability and so on. They will be better professors. So professors will be replaced, human professors will be replaced by the artificial intelligence professor. They will be good in administration. They will be good in production. So who needs human being? So ultimately, very soon, human beings will become the garbage of this planet. They have no place in this planet. So that will be the fate of the human being. I said, before it happens, we have a chance. We have the chance. We have to take control of the technology. Technology cannot be allowed to do anything they want. and destroy human being on this planet. So we have to draw a line. Technology, which is a blessing for human being, and technology, which is curse for human being. So we have to make sure we do not enter the territory where technology becomes a curse for the human being. So we want to create that 3-0 world, and young people, the people who are hopefully attending this discussion, I'm appealing to you. You are the one who will be creating the 3-0 world. And in order to encourage you, I'm appealing to young people to create 3-0 clubs. Yes, 3-0 clubs. It needs only 5 young people get together, create a club, 3-0 club. The purpose of the 3-0 club is a commitment from all 5 of you in each club to make sure each one becomes a 3-0 person. Meaning you as a person do not contribute to global warming. You as a person do not contribute to wealth concentration. You as a person do not contribute to unemployment. Then you become a 3-0 person. Your club becomes a 3-0 person. Then hopefully your families will become 3-0 families. And hopefully you'll create 3-0 villages where the village itself will not contribute to any of those mega problem, global warming, wealth concentration, and unemployment. And in the process, we create the 3-0 world. That's the direction we want to go. So I'm appealing to the young people. You have the right, you have the technology, you have the ability to make this world happen, create that new civilization. Nothing less than that is going to protect us. So the young people, so you have a chance. You may be the last generation in the current civilization if you don't do anything. Or you have a chance, you can be the first generation of your creation of the new civilization. So this is a chance that we have to make up our mind. So we can just adjust a little bit here and there, but this is the direction we are moving. And we don't want to submit to the failures of our civilization. We will overcome, we'll take hold of our own civilization. We create the civilization that we deserve, the civilization we dream of, not the civilization which victimizes us. That's not the civilization we want. We want to get rid of that civilization, create a new civilization. That's where universities, academic institutions have to play the primary role, because that's where ideas are mobilized. And that's why I'm saying that if you imagine, it will happen. If you don't imagine, it will not happen. That's what you are quoting in the beginning of my presentation. I'll stop here, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much, sir, for a very enlightening lecture. Now, may I request Dr. Srinivasu for proposing vote of thanks.
Good evening, one and all. On behalf of the Department of Economics, Jamia Islamia, express our deep sense of thanks and gratitude to Professor Muhammad Yunus, the father of microfinance, for his valuable, revolutionary, influential, and commendable lecture on creating a world of 3 zeros. Time is now. Sir, really you have shown the world towards an alternative strategy for rural credit markets and banking to the poor. Before the advent of microfinance and SDG movement, rural movement or rural thrift movement was not much visible. Now, with the inception of microfinance, majority of the rural communities are participating various livelihood activities. More particularly, women have become entrepreneurs with the SDG movement in India. Once again, thank you so much, sir.